I grew up a huge Van Halen nerd. The sun rose and set for me with Van Halen. And the last album of David Lee Roth, at least for a long, long time, was 1984, and it came out 39 years ago. Yesterday, this is the very last track on it called House of Pain. They front-loaded this album with what would be massive hits. For my money, the best song on it is this one. House of Pain is the very last song on it, if for no other reason than a full three-quarters of the song is instrumental. You get a little DLR up front. But this was after David Lee Roth decided he was leaving Van Halen before the album was even done because Eddie Van Halen had discovered synthesizers. And so for longtime Van Halen fans, the fans kind of comprised the same divisions that were within the band. David Lee Roth and Ted Templeman, who had produced all their albums, wanted them to keep on that kind of hard rock thing they were doing. Eddie Van Halen wanted to mess around with synthesizers and keyboards. He played piano along with guitar, and it was the early 80s. But so David Lee Roth split right at the time where Van Halen exploded with a new fan base. It was kind of like their version of Metallica's Black Album. Van Halen was still a massive band, but 1984 is really what blew them up to a much wider audience. And then they got Sammy Hagar, continued with the keyboards. Sammy, they had much bigger hits with Sammy. Better songs, I think, with David Lee Roth. He wrote the lyrics, Eddie wrote the music, but they had bigger hits with Sammy Hagar. But if you want to feel old, 1984, as the name implies, turned 39 yesterday. It was released on January 9th, 1984. Now, there's no way to know when its 40th anniversary will be.
It's impossible.
But it's got to be around the corner.
Mm-mm.
So,
could be tomorrow, could be in 25 years.
Could be. But 1984 sold 10 million copies. And it is sold, I think, in the initial run. That makes you a diamond album. They have platinum albums. They have gold albums. Diamond certification means you've sold 10 million copies of one album. You remember who the lead singer of Van Halen was, Poundcake?
Sammy Hagar.
Oh, he got me, didn't he?
He got one.
He did. He got me.
He got one of them.
I had... who was the guy who preceded him? Who was the guy singing on 1984?
I don't know.
Who was that
First
guy?
name is David.
Oh, Lee Roth.
There you go. I didn't think he was going to get it.
Well, you gave him David.
Yeah, but I didn't know if he knew Lee Roth.
I just said it.
He could have said David Berkowitz. The way Poundcake's brain works.
Van Halen and the Son of Sam. That was a collaboration. Dogs all throughout the five boroughs loved that album so much. I remember it was slightly controversial because the album cover had a cherub smoking a cigarette, right? A little baby angel with wings and a couple of packs of cigarettes there. He's smoking a cigarette. And I just thought that was, I was 13 when that, I wasn't even 13 yet. I was 12 when that album came out. I just thought that was the coolest friggin' thing.
Do they still sell those candy cigarettes like to kids, or is that like frowned upon?
Only to adults.
I don't know. Used to be able to go to Sweeties and they would have all those old-timey candies. I think candy cigarettes are so innocuous that, they're like, eh.
They might have them.
But yeah, but they might have fallen out of
We should run over
favor.
to this little candy shop around the corner here. I bet they would know.
With the Cosmic Cupcakes or whatever what's the joint?
Bottle Rocket.
Oh, Rocket Fizz?
Rocket Fizz, that's it, yeah.
Are candy cigarettes still available? Most candy cigarettes continue to be manufactured in the United States, of course, out of New Jersey. You want to get your candy cigarettes, American made. Yes, so you can get them. You probably have to buy them in some old-timey candy collection.
I'm not pressed on them. I think I would want them for like the nostalgia factor, but they weren't good. Like they weren't
Just
tasty.
grow up and get some real cigarettes.
That's what I mean, though. Yeah, come on, be a man.
No, they're nasty.
What's
Only
the
at first,
but what's
and
the
then you can't live without them.
What's the nostalgia factor of something you never liked?
Well, I also don't like what are they, Peeps? I don't like those either, but I keep them because I laugh at them, and my mom gets them for me every year, and I have never.
Your mom gets you candy cigarettes every year?
No, Peeps.
Oh, Peeps, yeah, Peeps.
In his Easter basket, he's 30.
Right.
I still get. So what if I get an Easter basket? There's a bunch of 30-year-olds.
Why are you yelling?
Because I'm
You're a grown man. My daughter calls me a grown man who likes candy. Now, that's less the case. Mary handed me a couple of high chews in the break. That's the first bit of candy I've had in a long time. So I'm getting off that whole thing. But in my heart and soul, I am a grown man who likes candy. So you're a grown man who gets an Easter basket from his mommy.
that has peeps in them.
Peeps, right.
And then you laugh at it.
Because sometimes, like one year, it was actually really. I wish I knew where those were, but they were in rainbow color, or maybe she bought them in rainbow and then assorted them another way. Maybe that was like right after Gay Marriage
I never
passed.
quite understood.
They come in different colors.
I never quite understood the hatred for Peeps.
They're
I love
nasty.
Peeps.
They're so.
It's just marshmallow with
It's
sugar
marshmallow
on it.
with sugar, and then now they have them in chocolate, and they're so harmless.
The consistency just doesn't do it for me.
You don't like marshmallows?
I like melted marshmallow or like marshmallow
Fluff.
in something, but I don't like to just eat a marshmallow by itself.
I like
I
to. I
will.
like to let them get stale.
I'll dig
get a-
into a bag of marshmallows, man.
You get a pack of Peeps,
right.
you cut a hole in them, and you let them sit on the counter for a week or so.
What is it with you and stale food? You also leave
Stale food.
you leave your pizza out all night, and then eat it the next day.
Well, that's one night. A lot of people. There's a show called Cold Pizza.
But cold
That's a-
pizza usually means in
you
the fridge.
Put in the fridge.
Oh no,
Like
it's
it's
not.
physically cold.
And that show hasn't been a
Not
show in
just-
15
Oh, is that true?
years. Yeah, it's
Cold
first take.
Pizza's gone.
It's first take.
Wait, but it used to be called Cold Pizza,
A long time ago, yeah.
but they turned it to First Take.
I believe
They just
that's what
changed
it
the
was.
name.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, then the show is still around.
Yes,
not that
technically you
show.
win, Alan.
Thank you.
On a technicality, the best kind of winning.
People are telling me candy cigarettes are now called candy sticks.
Mm.
But we all know what they are.
Except in the UK.
Why would people put pizza in the refrigerator?
Because that's how it is best.
But it's not going to go bad.
It's got cheese in it.
Not going to go bad overnight.
Would you leave out a slice of cheese on the counter and then eat it the next morning?
It's in a box. Cheese is an element of pizza. So there's the bread, there's a bit of the cheese, there's pepperoni, there's whatever you have on it,
Sure.
right? It's in a box, and I'll house a pizza if I'm going to have one. But let's say I don't, right? Let's say we got Ohio pie.
Sure.
Those are delicious, pretty hefty.
Sure.
I haven't finished it. Now, Ohio pie, not as good the next day. Some other kinds of pizzas, they can sit overnight, they're fine.
Oh, I like Ohio pie the next day.
But you're also eating it properly cold. He is leaving his
But why
food
is that
out.
proper?
But when you refer to something as cold, it's usually less than room temperature.
I thought cold pizza just referred to like
Not hot.
It's not hot,
No.
or you left it out. It's cold pizza.
You are the first
You
person I
mean
have ever
refrigerated.
heard of that. I've never heard of someone leaving their pizza out in the dining room overnight.
I'm not just sitting a slice on the ottoman.
I understand.
It's in the box.
It's still
of
in a
ca-
box. Yeah.
It's in the box.
I get that.
On the stove, right?
Right? I think when people hear cold pizza, they usually think out of a fridge.
I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
So people are actively refrigerating their pizza.
Yes.
Yes,
Gotcha.
that's
After you're
very
done?
common.
Why are they do that? Because they enjoy the cold.
Well, I think it's
You
one
just put
just
any
to
leftovers in the
any
refrigerator.
leftovers go in the fridge.
Yeah, but if you know you're going to eat, I think of leftovers as, I'll get to these later. The pizza, I'm going to eat for breakfast the next
So do
morning.
I finish it for breakfast
Out of the
just
fridge.
out of the fridge.
But why out of the fridge?
Because that's where
leftovers
you
go in the
put
fridge.
No, but that
leftovers.
means you, first of all,
Yeah,
leftovers
food-
leftovers go in the fridge because you don't want them to spoil.
Yes.
Right.
Right? Pizza will not spoil overnight. So you're putting it in the fridge is my point because you like the cold.
No,
because
It's not
I'm
going to spoil.
conditioned to put things in the fridge.
yeah, but it's not
Even
going
if
to
it's
spoil. Isn't
not
a
gonna
really
spoil,
good
yeah, like-
reason.
It's going to
Salami's not going to spoil overnight. I'm not going to leave it out on my stove.
But you could.
You could.
It's cured meat.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's not going to make you sick, but it's not going to taste as good.
That's all I'm concerned about is if it's going to make me sick. If you made a charcuterie board and left it out overnight, you could absolutely eat it the next morning
Yeah,
with
but
no
that's
fear.
gonna be sweaty meat and weird cheese,
But it's all.
soggy pickles.
But it was that-
It's more just how we're conditioned.
But
I
it was
think
that
that's all
before
it
you
is.
put it out. It's cured meat. It's going to be sweaty
Yeah.
cheese, right? Oh, maybe I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
I just thought cold meant not piping hot out of wherever you got it.
Cold
Oh,
out of the
actively
fridge,
cold.
yes.
Refrigerated.
Less than room temperature.
Remember back in October, there was a teacher arrested in Medina from Medina High School.
She's your girlfriend now.
Oh, this is a
Well,
guy
it's
you're
a
talking
dude.
about.
Oh.
Yeah.
And the story,
your
the rest of the
girlfriend
no, this is I'm not his type. I'm about
Way too old.
Yeah, 3 times too old.
Yeah.
But yeah, his crimes have hit the news. and it's exactly what everybody thought it was going to be.
Child porn.
Child porn, and he was talking with an undercover cop that was posing as a mom trying to set up a sexual encounter with her pretend 14-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
For what, money?
No, like he was. Well,
What's the
I mean,
mom's
she,
I'm sure he
incentive?
said
yeah,
he
I
was
my
think,
question.
I think that was it. But the money's not the important part. Is
Well, I mean, that's my first question: is how does somebody communicate with a mom? Like, what's the mom's motive to sell their child into prostitution?
And if your brain, and I know there are terrible, awful, heinous people out there, but if your brain wasn't always in a spermy froth to try to get laid, you'd go, it's a cop. It's not a mom trying to turning out her 14-year-old girl. It's a cop.
although that does happen, which is
It
very,
does,
very sad.
It does happen. But a social studies teacher at Medina High School, and imagine if you had 7th period with Mr. Hedrick, how this turned out. Accused of possessing child porn and trying to have sex with a 14-year-old girl that he thought existed. The 37-year-old teacher there. They accessed his Kick account. Are the kids on Kick? Who even knew that was still a thing?
I didn't know that was
Kick.
still a thing.
Yeesh.
I think that's the thing that's just being
That's the
used-
giveaway.
Yeah, that's like being used by pedophiles and people trying to catch pedophiles.
Yeah.
Like deep down, he's like, I guess I wanted to be caught because I was using Kick.
What exactly is Kick, though?
It
It was
like
a very
what-
short-lived messaging.
Yeah, it
app.
was like
It's like,
WhatsApp before WhatsApp.
but it
Yeah.
was specifically, I thought, for fetishes.
No.
No.
I thought
Nope.
Kick.
You're thinking about kink.
No. There was a guy.
Every messaging app starts out as, here's what the kids can be on and their parents won't know about it. That's what Kick
Oh.
was.
Yeah.
But if you're this guy and he's got a Kick account, he should have known, oh, it's only teachers and there's no more kids on this thing anymore. Anyway, yeah. So very exciting if you're a student or
One
a
more
parent.
reason I would love my name taken off the records in Medina High School.
There you go. As if he needed a reason. He doesn't need a reason. He just wants it done. But now he has a reason. What's the team out there?
The Bees.
Bees.
Medina Bees.
You've
There's a big candle factory out of Medina. So that ties into the name Bees. So all wax.
Why do they call them the Medina Wax? WHACKS.
I take it you guys gone to a lot of field trips out there?
What's the candle factory?
Oh, I thought it was like a beekeeper's factory.
Candle factory.
I don't know. There's places where they
What
process
are they?
honey.
Well, they got bees
Hold
out
on.
at Mapleside Farms.
But what do you call that?
A beekeeper's factory?
Yeah, what do you call that?
A honey farm? I don't know. What?
What is that? I don't know what that is.
Apiary, right?
He would never know that. The
Right.
only reason I know what an apiarist is because of The Office.
Yeah, I don't know that. Come on.
You thought he'd know that.
I know, but
He
I
would
just
know what an
but I just
apiary
want
is.
He
I
doesn't
just
know
wanted
what
to
a
hear-
slalom
I was
is.
so confused. I'm like,
But I just wanted to hear him keep saying a bee factory.
Beekeeper factory. A beekeeper factory. A honey factory.
Beekeepers here.
a bee
Yeah.
garden, whatever.
A bee garden.
Uh-huh. Bee garden.
Just I like his outlandish guesses.
Bees.
I've never been to one of those. Those are scary. I guess it would be okay if you wore like a suit.
Well, no. The bees, you can go out there, unless you're the beekeeper, you can go and visit an apiary and you can kind of walk around and the bees aren't attacking you like they're...
There's one down the street from my house when I was a kid. Just like a guy down they had a berry farm and they had bees. And they would sell berries that you have to pick your own berries.
Yeah.
Total scam. And they would sell honey.
Yeah.
Honey was good though.
All right.
I just hate that. Like, oh yeah, go pick your own berries. I'm like,
What's the matter with
do
that?
your own
It's an
work.
experience.
Do your
Like
own
the
work.
self-checkout.
You're immersing yourself in nature,
Yeah.
right? You want a tactile experience out there.
Talk
Hey.
about. Oh, go ahead.
Andrew,
Hey guys, you guys went further than the conversation about before, so I apologize.
That's okay.
But Alan is completely right about the pizza.
of course
Leave
I
it
am.
out.
I know that.
No,
Of
he's
course
not.
you
I
are.
don't need to
Yeah.
be. Of course, I don't need to be told that.
What do you
Yeah.
mean he's completely right?
Exactly. He's completely right because it tastes better. Because it's not a
So you're saying he's
Cold
right because of a
pizza crust.
preference that you
Just-
have.
Yeah.
Well, we're saying he's wrong because
just
of a
saying.
preference.
Yeah,
we
you
have.
said he's crazy for not
I
putting
did.
it
I
in
never
the
said
fridge.
he's wrong. I just said it's
But I think-
different way of doing. Like
But I
usually
think we
people
can all
put the.
agree
Hold
that
on, let me
Alan's
talk.
right. Oh, come on.
Come on.
The whole thing was most people put their pizza in a fridge.
Is that
And
true?
I
Do
feel
most people do that?
I feel like that's. But I think you only notice what you do, so it could not be true.
Because
I know.
it never occurred
here's
to
the
me.
thing.
It never occurred to me either way, I guess.
Well, I will put the pizza in the fridge after the night of, because, well, I do want it a little bit cold at that point. But the night of, that pizza needs to be ready for me to eat when I come downstairs hungover. 100%.
So for you, it's just a matter of making it more accessible. You don't want to be digging in the fridge. You want to go
And more
to the-
delicious.
Yeah, and more delicious. I mean, that's what I think, but I guess it's anecdotal. I guess it's whatever you want.
It's preference.
It's how Bill and I used to do it. We had so many arguments when we were running Papa Giuseppe's checkered tablecloth pizzatorium. We had so many arguments about pizza in the fridge or pizza out on the counter. I
Well-
was team counter. Everybody else on staff and Bill were team fridge.
Our whole idea at first was it's always at room temperature. So we would just put the pizza together and then just serve it. And
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
like, you didn't even cook this. And they're like, yeah, people like room temperature pizza.
Or for people who insisted we cook them, we said, okay, but the delivery time is going to be very long because we have to let it cool down to room temperature before we serve it to you. And as a result,
Friendly, attractive female servers. We ain't got 'em. Papa Giuseppe's Checkered Tablecloth Pizzatorium.
it didn't last long.
Well, the thing is, that's most places now.
Oh, boy.
What's the secret to our delicious pizza? Simple. It's just microwaved Lunchables. Papa Giuseppe's Checkered Tablecloth Pizzatorium.
Yeah.
I like to picture it as not even the pizza Lunchables. It's like a ham and cheese Lunchable.
Ketchup on it?
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Happy New Year, mega dildos.
Same
all that
to
good
you,
stuff.
mega dildos. Jeff, what's up?
So I was calling in about the pizza debate, too. I got to side with Alan on this one, and Bill kind of touched on it, but I want to go further than this. I think for New Year's resolution, I think we need to stop allowing Mary to take anecdotal evidence and use it as facts against Alan, because
I'll use whatever I
typically
want.
this is where it goes.
Here's the thing.
I'm sorry?
Everybody has
She can do
anecdotal
whatever she
evidence.
wants to do.
I'm just the only one who gets called out for
She
it.
could-
Did you
No,
guys
no,
ever?
you
Did
are
you
the
guys
one
ever?
that says
No, you
everybody-
don't.
You make
Did you guys ever
you make
envision a
comments
world?
about everybody does it.
Did you guys ever envision a world in which two consecutive callers would agree with me about food? Ever in any universe?
Honestly, no. But listen, Jeff, whatever, dude. That's my only argument.
No, I'm not.
Hey, you listen. Whatever, dude.
Mary,
Jeff, a
Mary,
lot of people are saying whatever.
Yeah, that's
It's like
right.
most people say whatever, so I think you lost this one.
People are saying whatever.
No, I will tell
Yeah,
you,
all
this
I'm
is
saying
something.
is-
This exact thing drives my boyfriend crazy because he's like, you say things with such confidence, like it is
Yes,
true.
yes.
He's like, you will make up a whole story that never happened, a conversation that never happened, say it like it's true, and everyone's looking at you like this. Nobody ever said anything like that. I was like, no, those things definitely happen. He's like, you make 90% of this stuff up in your brain.
Well, making things up is
But
different.
I'm looking out for.
Go ahead.
But I'm looking out for you too, Mary, because you make these confident statements.
I do.
Then you get real ticked off when people tell you you're factually wrong because the facts you brought into the argument aren't actually facts.
That's fine.
There's a difference between fabricating stories and asserting your anecdote with confidence.
Listen.
What's the point of being wishy-washy when you talk to people? You
Here's the
got to
thing.
with confidence.
I'm going to assert everything with confidence, even
Yeah,
if I'm not 100% true on it, because when it is right, then I look like I knew something.
Uh-huh.
Like, no, dude,
Well,
everybody
hey,
says that.
I'm pretty sure that's the same attitude with the MAGA dope. So I mean, you can
Bro,
cross
have
that
you
off
heard
the list
any
then.
of my stories? I'm half MAGA in my blood. There's nothing I can do about it.
Well,
By the way, you guys,
I know Cody is, but
you guys could.
Well, they're never mind.
Thank you, Jeff. You guys could be 100% correct, by the way, that most people put in the fridge. It just didn't occur to me because I'm like, look,
Maybe it's a generational thing too.
shut up, Bill.
Older people
Shut up.
leave it out overnight.
Son of a bitch.
And if you're
I-
younger, you put it in the fridge.
No, I'm in the camp of living in.
Dude, you idiot.
Okay.
We had him.
You're
We
supposed
had
to-
him with the old
you're
guy
supposed-
stuff.
they had
and
me.
then here comes Poundcake. But actually,
He's speaking with confidence.
I don't put him in the fridge either.
Well,
Idiot.
that's just because I lay with it on my night. I have it on my nightstand. So when I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, I want a snack, I don't even have to go to the fridge or the stove where I left it. It's right there, on my nightstand.
When I come home hungry from the beekeeper factory all day long, I want something to eat.
What if
You're
he did
supposed to
say
yes
apiary?
and him, Poundcake.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
You're supposed to yes and me, but I just keep thinking, what if he did somehow come up with apiary?
It would be great. He comes up with things all the
hilarious.
time.
He thinks that's what the enclosure where the monkeys are at the zoo is called.
Apiary.
That's an atrium. Aprium.
A what?
Aprium.
A what?
Like an atrium.
He said,
Did you see what he did? He pivoted. It's like an atrium.
But with
He
a-
gets
yeah.
he gets the aprium.
He goes atrium?
Oh, yeah,
Aprium.
God damn. I got to take a break. I'll have those Bruce O-Rama tickets for you. The great Bruce Campbell comes to the Agora. He does a live fan game show, and you watch some fun film, and maybe he'll talk about the new Evil Dead film. He's not in it, but he's one of the producers. So if you're a big Bruce Campbell fan, I'll have Bruce O-Rama tickets for you coming back here, and then another $1,000 for you to win. Next keyword to go fund yourself is coming up at 3:30.
The Alan Cox Show.
On our free iHeartRadio app and your favorite smart device. Just tell it to play the Alan Cox Show on